Celebrity Jeopardy!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 263. We're missing a few people moving around, so we'll see MVG, Max, and Click back here next week. But we had to bring somebody in. A guest, surprise guest this weekend is Brian Altano.
Good to see you.
Back.
I actually on the show tonight. You didn't tell them until I got here.
Surprise! It was the Stone Cold music hitting, basically. It was good. It was good.
That was fun. I should have crushed a beer can against my head. Thank you for having me. I missed you all a ton.
You got your Steam Deck. You must have been the same wave as me. You got your Steam Deck the same day, basically. I got mine. So
did you pre-order yours in like the first 4 seconds and still end up like Q2?
I was pretty quick. Yep. But it seems like more emails out right now, so this stuff rolled out. So it's cool. We got about a day or so with it, so we'll do some brief, very early impressions with it for a little bit today. Talk about it. We got Nate the Hate. Nate's here. Actually, when we're starting too, you're not gonna just burst your way on
weekend.
Okay. Good. How you doing, Nate? How you doing?
I am trying to watch the Yankee game, but they're in a rain delay because they are playing terrible baseball, so I'm quite upset right now.
Nate, bursting on the scene. That's the whole theme of Easter. That man did. He
got out of that cave. Right, like, I'm back, bitches. They were like,
Undertaker music played.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they heard the bell, and the Romans are like, oh shit.
Paul Bearer came out. It was the whole thing, man.
Yeah, and Jesus was ready to kill in the bank.
RGT85 with like the thumbnail of the generation today.
I mean, it seemed like a funny idea to me. It made me laugh. So we're gonna continue it tomorrow with tomorrow's video. And I get tired. That's what I do. Then I'll just start doing something else.
It got a reaction on Twitter. It was fun.
That's what I like. That's what I like to see.
Everyone had flashbacks. They're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
I wanted to see MVG's like reaction to it on here, but he'll be back next weekend. We'll see what's what. We got OJ. Player says holding down the Spawncast pre-show as well over there.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun today, man. Thank you guys for coming through. A lot of you guys from the from different channels came through. John's channel came through, so thank you guys. 300 plus viewers. So
we got Jordan Fringe.
Hello, glad to be here.
Good to have it. You're echoing. Yeah, you get
sorry.
Somewhere mysterious.
Somewhere mysterious.
Okay. Jordan, good to have Jordan here. And then we got Evan.
Yep.
All right, cool. We got a bunch of stuff to go over tonight. We got the Steam Deck stuff we'll talk a little bit about. Then we got the Zelda talk. All the stuff around it. Switch. Sean's got the in on that one apparently.
Yep.
And we got Kingdom Hearts 4. That actually got announced like hours after we did our last podcast. So I want to circle back around because the NVIDIA leak strikes again, and here we are with Kingdom Hearts. And then we had that mystery remaster remake that everyone's trying to guess at, and I figured we throw some of those out there tonight as well. So, Evan, do you want to hit us with a Discord question to start with?
What video games or video game products have you bought at a scalper's price?
Ooh,
At a scalper's price? That's a good question.
yeah.
well, the last thing I think I bought was, I think like Xenosaga.
I'm thinking of
trilogy?
games right now, but like
Yeah,
you said, they said
games.
system specifically.
Systems.
Product, anything really. Just like
I mean, I bought GameCube games recently. That should tell you all you need to know there. But like,
would they consider that a scalper's market? Scalpers offer
No.
products that are currently out, whereas the GameCube
Yeah,
itself
Scalper
is
stays in
just trade.
secondhand market 25 years later.
Okay, yeah, I don't buy any scalping
don't think I ever have.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I even held up for the Steam Deck, and I actually thought about that for a minute. I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
This was Steam Deck was the first time I didn't even do like the like cursory glance at eBay to see what the temperature was because I had a feeling it was terrible.
It was ridiculous. It was like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Off the response to when I was like the Steam Deck that I have, but like for $1,600 on.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I just looked at mine and I was like, "How much do I love you?"
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that to people. That's terrible. No, I don't think I've never had to do. I've always been like McGraw with shit.
Where it crossed my mind, and it was kind of recently, was when the Switch OLED started making its way onto the scene early. And
Yeah, I tried to.
I considered it. I'm like, I don't know, because it's
The views, that's millions of views. Like, I wish I could have got. I tried. There was one guy in California, and I was like, "Look, I'll give you double price, but I need it like express shipped. I need it ASAP." Got back with me.
what I would say. If you could find, and some people may pay it early, like for early copies. That I guess would technically still be scalping because they're taking advantage of the market. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Hey, I almost had a story for you right there with the Switch OLED. Then there you go. Maybe next time we'll see.
I definitely bought like back in the day that were
Yeah, I could see that.
like there was a bunch of I get like I remember like paying like $75 for Electroplankton for Nintendo DS. 'Cause I was like, I was
okay,
like,
yeah.
only out in Japan. I want it. I can't play. I need it, and I paid definitely double retail, and that was probably the week it came out.
Any amiibos? Any like amiibo come up where you're like, I gotta get that, and it's maybe like twice. Maybe it's like 30 or 40 bucks instead of 15 or 20.
Paid more for
This would be it right here.
I might have. That's a dark time I try to forget about.
amiibos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never paid more for. I remember like the Lucina amiibo.
Yeah,
was like going
yeah.
for crazy prices. Back, I'm like, so until Lucina, because like Lucina's just like, I'll just wait.
I remember
I waited and I got it later.
Technically, I
Yeah.
bought Xenoblade on the Wii from GameStop after trading stuff in
Yeah,
for
GameStop scalped
$75.
that game.
I guess I kind of got scalped for that then because I couldn't find it anywhere, and they opened it, made it used, and then sold
When
it.
they were doing that. They were doing that. No, I got mine was 50 though. Mine was actually regular price. They sold
there
it for
you go.
$49.99.
GameStop got me. There you go. No, that's it. That's all I can think of.
And
They
Boozled.
were GameStop was selling over retail. They were selling. They resold like Metroid Prime Trilogy, I believe, for like $75 at some point, and it's like that was way above MSRP, but they just felt like they could do it.
That's when GameStop did the reprint. Wii box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another one, Evan.
Feeling
Do you
like
think
that was very gross?
Do you think the
Yeah.
every time? Do you think the PS Vita would have sold better if it was called the PSP 2?
No.
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 I don't. No, I mean the Vita's they wanted to differentiate it from PSP because everybody pirated
One
that
of the
thing.
best-selling systems is fucking called a Wii. A Wii. Names. I feel like people put too much stock in the name. So if it'll sell, if there's a market for it, it'll sell.
Like
for whatever reason.
Virtual Boy's a good name. I feel like that's a good name. Like it sounds like futuristic at the time and stuff. But just no one
Dreamcast
wanted
is
it.
a great name.
That's a great name. Yeah, Dreamcast is a very good
Fantastic
name.
Boy is a weird name.
It's like Virtua. It's like
Nowadays, you'd be like, you get.
I thought it was ass from the beginning. Most people, when I saw Virtual, I was like, "This is ass." I knew it was ass back then, but
Stop
I mean-
it. You were like 10. You fucking.
shit. What, we loved it because we couldn't have
You were
it.
literally 10
no
or
color.
9.
no, there was
It
no
didn't matter.
color. You want to play game with no color?
Nah, dude, when the ball comes at you when you're playing
That's
Mario,
the red wireframe.
you know,
I don't
love
color in my game.
I waited 2 months on Virtual Boy, and I think I got it for like $30 at Toys R Us.
Oh
they,
wow, there you go.
They cleared that one out quick.
I chose a Virtual Boy over a Saturn and PS1 for Christmas one year. No fucking regrets.
Oh,
No
man.
regrets.
No regrets.
You chose it.
At least you can see red.
Oh,
The Virtual Boy's useless. Would it just be blank? for
Yeah,
you?
I would just be
It just
sitting
went
there.
to zero.
It doesn't work.
It'd just be nothing. It'd just be black silhouettes.
Sean, challenging you all the most.
Virtual Boy was the
Mario.
first. This is the first system ever made where they told you to stop playing it, right?
Yeah,
Like, they
it
were
kept
like,
coming up to be like, please
yeah,
walk
like every
away,
15
save your
minutes.
I
eyes.
remember thinking that was fucking insane. I was like, what are you
Yeah, dude,
talking
I never did it.
The warning
Fuck
signs were
that.
there.
Who needs
That shit for
retinas?
hours. Tele shit.
It's like a foot and a half from a TV for like 10 years. Like, now
Yeah.
you're telling me I can't look at this thing.
I just remember somebody was playing it and like somebody just pushed him and ran. It was
I want to reboot the old sitcom Step Right Up.
From the Co-Create family.
Step right up on
This year's most original comedy.
I'm new to humor. What do you do? Vice President of Comedy at Hulu. Fun.
Reboot.
funny stuff.
Well, it really
He
wasn't.
was like, oh.
It really wasn't a portable system, even though they.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Maybe.
My favorite was the Wii when they're like they tell you like every 15 minutes or so you should think about going outside. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's just like a abandoned Wii remote next to an open window. And it's like
There's like a
happened
breeze
here?
coming in.
Hold on.
That
Who
was some
stole this
progressive
child?
thing, grass way back in 2006.
I mean that window might have been like a fourth story window. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's not good.
Jump out the window.
Yeah, you got another Discord question, Evan?
Do you think there is a chance 64?
Yes, they either do it. I don't care how much money has to exchange hands. Let's just get it on there because basically it's
How-
Mega Man Legends.
How well has Capcom played with Nintendo's Switch Online stuff so far?
Mega Man. hold
Ghosting
on.
Goblins on the
Ghosting
Super
Goblins, okay.
NES. And I think they have one other one on the Super NES.
So they're testing the waters a little bit.
Yeah, so it's not impossible.
So never
Drop
say
the-
never. It's possible.
Drop the bag, Nintendo. Drop it. That's a good game to have on. There's so many people played
Yep.
Mega Man. You know what? It's still fun. It's still fun.
Is
So-
it though?
Are you
Yeah,
sure? Are you sure?
It is.
How are the
Uh,
controls feeling?
They're a little funny because you kind of do like the tank
Mega
stuff.
Man
but it's
kinda like
still good.
shuffles
If you had
around. He was
will it
like,
feel better?
Look better than the PS1 version, so I think it would also clean up pretty well, like Mario Golf did.
Did you guys get the N64 controller?
Yes, I did.
I don't have it.
How many times have you used it?
I've used
It's
it
In the box.
4 times.
Okay, that's it's awesome. I'm glad I have it, but I got it and I was like, that's beautiful. Goodbye.
Yeah, I almost don't want to touch it because I'm like, this seems like it never comes back in stock. I almost feel like I just
Yeah.
have this rare item that like no one had ever seen.
Mhm.
So, let's start with
This is not a controversy.
Sean.
This is not a controversy.
It is
It is an opinion from an outlet.
exactly,
And that is
Yeah, that's
all
what-
it is.
But people are taking it as, and I mean, I respect it, Slee, but they're literally looking at something that everyone else is looking at and saying, "Oh, well, some of these textures I don't think could be on the Switch," and "Oh, these clouds, the volumetric cloud." Hey, is that enough?
I'm looking at the definition of controversy right now. Disagreement typically when prolonged, public, and heated.
But I mean, it's just
But what's the
But
definition of
it's an
prolonged?
opinion from an outlet where they continue to say think and factual statement. It was just them looking at something and saying, I think this could be something that it's not. That doesn't make it a topic that people have to be clinging to make and saying, hey, this game could possibly be on something else.
Nope,
Yeah,
I
it
agree.
could be.
I agree
It
with Digital
doesn't-
Foundry
It does what we saw.
based on what?
because I needed to say controversy in the title. I agree with Digital. Okay, back and look at this footage, and it's going to be compared, and I don't think it's going to look as good as what we're seeing in the footage right now.
What we're seeing in the
When
footage
is
right
the
now
te-
is an in-engine cutscene. It's like the story sequences we saw in Breath of the Wild 1 gameplay.
Well, Heavy Hitters in the chat just said something good. Why did it take them so long to speak on the clouds? It was the first thing I noticed during the direct premiere. It's not like we've seen anything new and been like, oh, wow, wait a damn minute here. And the weird thing to me is the game Mario Rabbids too, and I was like, oh, okay, looks good.
Yeah, that's Ubisoft. Ubisoft's going to do that. They're going to dress that thing up.
But I mean, I didn't think anything more of it than that, and I don't know why.
I will
don't know
admit
why
though, when they started showing things like Link, is this on the Switch? He's like, no, that's not in-game footage on the Switch. And I'm like, I think you're right. I don't think that's in-game footage. It has to be in-engine, like you're saying, Nate. But then it comes back to Nintendo dressing it up and showing off something that way on the Switch.
But we've seen numerous publishers and developers. This isn't new for the industry. Look at the original E3, was it 2013 or 2014 footage of Breath of the Wild on the Wii U? That did not look like that on the Wii U or the Switch when the game came out.
I would
in-engine
they're showing us stuff that's going to be on another system. This is not just a Wii U game. And people would have said this isn't controversy. This is no,
the same game on both systems.
It's still going to be on the Switch. This is still going to like a Switch.
It was too big. I'm under the impression that it's too big in these volumetric clouds.
The worst part is that the clouds are not volumetric. They do not fit the definition of volumetric.
It's going to look worse on the current Switch. That's what I'll say. It'll look worse.
That what we saw in this delay video? No. Anyone who thinks we're seeing assets from unannounced hardware in this delay footage that showed all of 10 seconds of new footage compared to what we saw at E3 a year ago are out of their minds. Your footage.
Nate, like that in the final product?
This is a touched up release. This is an in-engine trailer that they are rendering at a higher resolution and visual fidelity than what the Switch would output. And we've seen this time and time again from numerous companies. It's called marketing. Sounds like says Nintendo put out screenshots for Animal Crossing that were 4K. Well, that's not on my Switch. So clearly those Animal Crossing screenshots from a year and a half ago must be on something else.
But the thing of it is there's nothing wrong with what Digital Foundry said. Everyone's allowed in. Have all these people that are rushing out to talk about this and as if it's gospel. And it's like Digital Foundry knows their stuff, but Digital Foundry also uses a lot of tools and things. Analyze things like consistency in those things. This is literally looking at something, a video that everyone has seen with no additional tools and, you know, stating an opinion on it that at the end of the day doesn't hold than anyone else's opinion.
That's the thing, is that it was their opinion. They didn't run this through a machine and break down the resolution and everything and say, okay, well, we're coming in at a polygonal rate that is far exceeds what the Switch can do. And saying effect is actually being used here. I think this could be something that the Switch couldn't render. I think. Okay, that's fine. That's their opinion. They're entitled to that opinion and to put that out there. But it's reporting saying something that they're clearly not doing, and then you're getting these outlandish headlines that are suggesting it, and unfortunately all the backlash is going to come back to Digital Foundry, which is unfair to them.
They mentioned they did for the trailer. It came in 1080p. Is this game going to be native 1080p?
Gameplay or an in-engine story sequence?
Either one.
The latter, you can either may not be the case. I mean, again, we can look at Breath of the Wild 1. The story sequences looked far better than the in-game. You can look at Link's model or his face. When you look at the story sequences, there's a lot more detail and visibility on display than what you... It's just like you would look at Uncharted on the PS3 when you see the in-engine cutscenes. Nathan Drake didn't look like that when you were in control. There's a loss in quality. So why is this being treated any...
You know, Breath of the Wild 1, that's just like the Wii U game. They could have been taking a bunch of time to make the graphics like better, just on the Switch itself. So I mean,
which
like I don't understand. Which people are saying, oh well, Breath of the it's like over. If they spend a bunch of time and money and all their resources on making this look the best that they want to make it look, why can't it look like that? It's not like it looks like freaking, I don't know, God of War 7 or something on like PS5. You know?
Yeah, it's
that's one of the is a game that is using the Switch hardware from the ground up. As you said, Breath of the Wild 1 was a Wii U game that was ported to the Switch and was unoptimized to take advantage of the hardware. So now we're seeing a game that can really utilize what the Switch can do, some reused asset, the engine, and you're going to push what that engine can do. You're going to get visual fidelity that is far beyond the scope of the original game. There's nothing that we have seen from Breath of the Wild 2's footage, especially when we look at the gameplay footage back at E3, that realm of what the Switch can.
Trying to say, Brian, earlier?
I was gonna say this one's in a unique situation because it's a Switch game, and it's different than seeing bull shots of Watch Dogs, because you're like, well, theoretically this could scale up to the highest end PC possible, and I'll max settings, but obviously won't get the same experience. And also, this is like, we're several years now into the Switch's life, and people have been begging for a successor forever. We don't have to get into whether or not that's needed or not. If you look at the sales, it's clearly not. But either they ship a game that doesn't look as good as it did in a trailer a year or two prior, and people are pissed off, or they tell everyone you have to spend $350 to buy a new console to play this, and everyone's pissed off for a different reason. So you gotta. It's gonna be be. So I'm fine with either. Like, if they can magically make this thing work on current hardware, great. Everyone has one of those or two of those by now.
Which game did they upload? I think it was Nintendo. Was it Europe? Nintendo Europe? Someone uploaded it on Nintendo. It was the game, but it was at 60 frames per second. And I have to remember which one it was, but I looked at that.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember I brought that up. 60 and it's like 30 the whole way. I'm like, that's weird. And I think Activision did the same thing with Crash when they first showed that off. They uploaded it at 60, and I'm like, what is going on with these companies at times where they show off this kind of footage that we just won't have access to at all? I think they finally have more to show with Breath of the Wild. Was it? You'll see the title. Was it downgraded? You know, all these things, and it's more like, is it fun?
Breath of the Wild 2 downgrade controversy.
That's definitely going to happen. I mean, it happened with Mario Kart. Then Mario Kart ends up looking better with it comes out, and I think this is the game you launch new hardware with if they really want to next year. So, yay, maybe we'll have new hardware anyway, and it won't matter.
You see, that's the thing is, and that's what people are going to conflate is this could launch with new hardware, but the footage we are seeing is not indicative release assets of unannounced hardware with a game right now that they have announced for the Switch 3 years ago and have since shown twice in the last 13 months.
This isn't footage from a Switch though. It's probably from like a dev kit or a computer or something.
It could be a dev kit, it can the game on, but it's still targeting the current Switch that you have in your hands right now specs.
Yeah. There you go.
Do we need to get like a grass gate, tree gate?
Oh yeah.
I hope so. There better be a
I mean, they're already talking about
what if the clouds are like 2D from the right angle or something? Ooh, that'd be a fun week on the
little
internet.
animated GIFs in the distance, and that's it.
Think of the money we'll make talking about it. So.
Oh no. You.
Yeah.
Jordan here. Oh,
Got the
good.
camera working.
All right.
Good seeing you, man.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Hair's looking magnificent as always.
Appreciate it.
Glorious is the word I'm.
Let me shift over here to the Steam Deck because it's been out for a minute now, but I feel like very few people even have the thing, and everyone's just kind of waiting for that email to show up that's like, hey, you now have your Steam Deck. It showed up like 2 days later, so that was pretty quick. All right, that's fine. And it came from like Illinois or something for mine, so it was like 2 day shipping is fine. But I got it. I unboxed it. I've checked it out. I think I have a video going on, but Brian got his too, so this worked out having you on here. Since you have a Steam Deck, I got the Steam Deck. Let's talk about the Steam Deck for a minute here.
It's been fun. It's like first impressions was I was definitely like, this is gigantic. Yeah. everyone has said about how this thing is a big ass handheld. It absolutely is. I think if you spent a lot of time with the Wii U, you got pretty close. Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big boy.
It is a good size. Yeah.
Did you get the highest end model?
56 gig because the 5 just whatever 256 go.
Right.
Yours has like, is it a matte finish screen on yours or how?
Yeah, which I'm not sure if I'm in love with it actually. It's gonna take me a minute to figure that out.
It's like it's basically glares as much as my phone.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's interesting because it's like, you know, I've been a huge handheld gaming fan.
Here it is next to the Switch Pro controller. There you go.
Let's see. Here it is next to the Analog Pocket, which my two favorite bags I was able to secure during the pandemic, like I guess besides the next gen consoles. But I think it's pretty funny because it's Nintendo hires dozens of people to make the experience or see behind the curtain unless something goes horribly awry. And Valve is basically just like, shit's about to get weird and you're gonna see like one of those BIOS screens, so roll with it, have fun, it's cool. Like they own it. I dig it.
When you hit the Steam button and you can go from like 1 to 5 and it'll show you frame rate, it'll show you different frequencies of your CPU cores, your GPU cores, temperatures, the whole thing. It's a little box in real time while it's crazy. Couple of games, but like I told you, Sean, Batman Arkham City, flawless 60 FPS, highest settings, no sweat. It just rolled right through that game.
Wild. What about the CPU efficiency per core?
I can tell you, playing Arkham City, it was on hours.
Okay.
Kind of getting the vibes of with this. Probably the battery's probably a little worse, but I'm kind of looking at like the original Switch, not the red box one, the one before that. Kind of that battery life. So if you were okay with that, like when you're playing Breath of the Wild, you'd probably be okay with the charge, maybe, because I think the battery's bigger. But I wasn't that like put off by the battery life. I thought I was gonna get it, play it, and be like, it's been an hour and it's like 20%. It doesn't feel like that so far. Like Skater XL, because Metro Exodus is probably the most impressive one. I know everyone's talking about Control. Dude, load up Metro Exodus. It's a game that looks really like it plays on like the PlayStation 5 and all this stuff. It looks phenomenal. But even on here, it looks so good. Running between 45 and 60 consistent frame rate above 30. So if you capped it at 30, you just want just a straight line basically for it, you'll get it for the frame rate. But the controls feel good. A, B, X, and Y are a little close together.
Yeah,
they're thing with just my thumb.
Yep.
The analog sticks feel like a controller, but then the buttons feel like they're a handheld.
I will say that my biggest gripe with the buttons is the Steam button. Whatever that they call that, whatever that thing.
I call it like the menu button or something.
The menu button. They're like recessed, or they're kind of flush with the front of the system. And if you're playing like in a dark room and you're trying to just like get the full experience of your game, you see them, and like reaching down to hit them is kind of cumbersome.
No give to them. There's no travel, nothing. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I think the part that's a little strange for me is they put haptics in the touchpads, which feel like you just dicks in the Steam button or the 3-dot button. That would be the spot to put the haptic feedback in, so if you press it, it gives you a little vibration. So it's like, oh yeah, you press this.
When you like go to search for a game on the store, the haptics kick in, and it feels like you know I ago when everybody had their and I was like, I got to turn this off immediately. I like, the thing is, like with PC gaming, I'm not one of those people that's just like, oh, it's so stupid, I hate it, it's a pain in the ass. It is obviously a little bit of a pain in the ass, but the reward is worth. I tried to xCloud on my Steam Deck today. I don't know if you've looked up how to do that.
No,
you basically you have to plug in like a USB keyboard and a mouse to like copy and paste lines of code, trick your Steam library into like basically circumnavigating the back end so it can launch a beta version of the Edge browser so you can stream Xbox games. And it was like, fuck. And I went through every step and I just loaded it up and it just didn't work. is what's great. I feel like the biggest fucking idiot in the world. Like,
but
so
the nice
quick.
thing is, if you just do the games that are Steam Deck like compatible with the green check mark, it's a very easy and seamless experience. It feels like a console storefront, and you're just going through, you're hitting A, and you're just off and running for downloading games, playing them.
And it was kind of fucking nuts. Like,
Out of work portably.
Yeah, like it's like the
PSP
one from
had
2018. That's true. That is true.
And that one had a jump button too.
I know.
Man, no,
You know, it was good.
Got rid of the jump. You fucking up over there.
The thing I'm getting is kind of that feeling I got with the Switch when you loaded up Doom for the first time. You're like, wow, this is actually a portable game now. I'm getting that with like all kinds of stuff on here, and it's a seamless experience until you like wander outside like this gated community they have set up. Deck compatible. That little area is pretty good, and they keep adding stuff to it. Like every now and then I'll see an update, even over the last 2 days, where it's like, go ahead and update this because this game is now ready to go. And so they seem to be adding a lot of them.
Definitely like a super where everyone can swim, and then there's the part with like rocks and sharks and shit. But it's like, you know, you might have fun. I don't know if you've gone over to like desktop mode yet.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to get emulators on there.
yeah. Same here. First thing I tried doing. It's fascinating just how all of a sudden it's just a micro PC desktop where you have to use like these weird little those mouse squares or whatever they're called. It's funny. It works ish. A lot of like the D-pad like it just doesn't know what to do, and then something prompts where it's like type in a line of code or something like that, and you're like, how? I gotta plug out a keyboard in.
To be honest though, looking at this, I don't know if I care for the that's me, because I'm like, I feel like most people are buying this probably have a PC that's capable enough to just play it on a monitor. So for me, this is basically like probably one of the best handhelds you can buy right now as just a device for the value. Like wild to me. For what it presents. It the 64 gigabyte model has a spot on the bottom for an SD card. I need like a door or something to cover it up. It's just like this hole on the bottom. It's just your Steam Deck is a little weird.
I had some. I might grab one of these to be like my work like PC that I can hook up to a monitor and then like do college shit on, and then also just detach and play video games on. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's.
I think. For that, if you tell my parents this is a PC and like that I can get it, you know, it's like, let me just tell them that, because I know people who do that. They'd be like, well, I mean, I need this Alienware PC.
I suggest
AP statistics is going to be
for a while.
But I mean, that's what Nintendo did back in the day. They're like, oh, this is a computer. It's not. There's a family computer. Come on into the store. This is not a video. There's no video game market crash. Nothing like that. This is just
the Steam Deck can be several $1,000 laptops, and you could be like, let me save you some money. We'll get the 512 gigabyte Steam Deck. Just get me a keyboard, mouse, little USB-C to HDMI. Don't worry about it. I'll save you guys a little bit of money there. I mean, that you know, some kids are going to try to pull that on the parent.
Like completely different from like the Nintendo Switch experience this thing is. Like
it is.
It's similar in that you can load up a bunch of games on it and put a bunch of games on an SD card or whatever, and you're ready to go. And it is it's a big portable. But after that, they differ.
You know, the Switch itself, I usually recommend a carrying case for anyway, so I've never really viewed that as a pocket-sized system. You can make a case for the Switch Lite, I guess, but even that's like log sticks kind of rolling around. Yeah, like the 3DS was the last real portable system for me. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's obviously that's a pocket-sized one. This is large. They give you a case right out of the gate though, and it's a nice case. It's like $30 to $40 case. They've basically said, hey, you're probably carrying this around, like you're not going to put this in a pocket, so we're just going to give you this casing for it. But
like it's sort of related, but it kind of blew my mind how cheap micro SD stuff has got for like $100 now. When the Switch launched, I bought a 400 gigabyte one. I'm sure a bunch of you did. It was like 200 or something.
$250. I remember doing a video on that. Yeah,
it was it's awesome watching that drop.
Yep,
it's been that way forever.
drop it in there, and you can go between that and like a piece. Drop all your ROMs and stuff. Emulation on this is decent. So if this all of a sudden also becomes a portable GameCube,
I know.
I'm
Seen
good.
people do a bunch of like F-Zero and stuff like that. I've just seen pictures on Twitter.
It is. If you was thought about getting in, I don't know if I really want to go that far into it where I'm like, I got to figure all these settings and configurations and do all these things. I honestly, I recommend the Steam Deck. In the world of PC games, expensive parts are, one that is on the high end is cheap for PC gaming, like with video cards being $1,500 now or something.
I was looking around for a mini PC recently, and I think I found one for 1.5, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you just buy this now? Or is
No, anything. You basically can't buy anything anymore.
Apparently they're ramping up, so people in Q2 are just starting to get emails like scattershot everywhere. So I'm thinking by the end of this year, we might get to a point where in 2023, when PS5s and Series X's and stuff start showing up really in stores, we might see this in Best Buy.
Right.
So, and especially you, larger hands and stuff, dude. This thing is like, they basically said, we know adults are buying this. So like, this is for people who have larger hands. It basically has a grip built into the back. Completely. And it has macro buttons too.
Like how big, comfortable to hold, based off of how I've seen like the ergonomics of it. Definitely seems like
put
it's
it up
comfortable
next
for
to a
You said the same thing I told you. My eyes are no secret. I wanna know, was it serious? I need it clear. My best friend isn't easy to show. I know I told you. It's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling. I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way. I think that I might. I know you made it in the nick of time. I'm calling on you. I think we're made of something. I think we're made of something. I keep my time in a park. mysterious. I think I found my own way. Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I know I told you it's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing. My love, trying to hold my feeling. I don't know what's right. I'll find the best way I think that I might.